Hey guys, welcome to AfterBuzz TV. We are covering Outcast Season 2, Episode 3 and 4. So much drama happened. We basically see Reverend Anderson rescue Megan from her suicide attempt. Kyle takes Amber to see her mother, Allison, in the hospital, the mental hospital that is. And Aaron takes being a misbehaved child to the next level. All of this and more in just a few.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey AfterBuzzers, I'm your host for tonight, Ashley Marie, hanging out here in studio with you. We are talking all things Outcast. What a crazy 2 episodes, 3 and 4. Were you guys sitting on the edge of your seats like I was? I couldn't take my eyes off the television. We saw Reverend Anderson rescue Megan from her suicide attempt. How insane was that? We also saw Kyle took Amber, his daughter, to see her mother, Allison, in the hospital, and she's in the mental hospital. I'm not sure that I knew anything about the mental hospital. Maybe you guys did. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts were about that, but we're going to get deeper into that. And Aaron takes being a misbehaved child to the next level. He actually takes crazy to the next level. I was in shock at some of the things that he had going on, and I'm sure you guys were too. So hop in that comment section. Let's chat about it. I am so excited to dig into all of the details with y'all. Okie doke. So let's start with the first order of business here, excuse me. So we did see Reverend Anderson rescuing Megan from her suicide attempt. As we saw in episode 2, Megan jumped in the lake. She was in that deep despair about her husband dying and her being responsible for her husband's death. So she tried to kill herself. And shout out to Reverend Anderson for coming to save the day. Megan realized that was not the route she wanted to take, so he saved the day. But here's the beauty about it. This is what I thought was so wonderful and so beautiful, that not only did he pull her out of that water, but he told her that he is not going to judge her, that he was saving her and not planning on judging her for trying to kill herself. And how often is it that we need, just in our everyday lives, we need someone that will offer a shoulder to cry on without worrying about them judging us or talking about us or telling all of our business to the world. So shout out to Reverend Anderson. I give him kudos for his role in episode 3. He really, really turned it up and made me kind of look at him in a different light. Actually at a higher level. I really appreciated who he was in that episode. And in episode 4, but we'll talk about his role in episode 4 in just a little bit. But what I thought was so interesting about Megan in episode 3 was that although she was shown some grace and Reverend Anderson showed her some love with saving her, she did not seem to be open to help and to people reaching out to her as much as I thought she would be. For example, when the woman showed up to her doorstep to invite her to church, she wasn't really open to it. She actually crumbled up the flyer for the worship service and pretty much declined. I won't say she respectfully declined, but she did decline. Now, we all know Megan needs some of the Lord in her life, but to me, she had no business declining a church invite, but she did, and hopefully maybe she changes her mind and she decides to go that route, but she didn't seem to be open to that at all. So hopefully, we see Megan kind of take a turn for the better. We also saw Megan return home to her mom, and I thought that was very interesting too. So maybe she'll be able to heal from the death of her husband a little bit better at home with her mom, where she's in a safe space. So we are, looking forward to seeing Megan's transformation. Now, before we start talking about Kyle and Amber, I do have a special announcement for you guys that I want to share with you. So, hey, AfterBuzzers, our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There's no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about those pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments and we'll thank you on air. For now, thank you for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk. Thank you. All right, y'all. So let's get right into Kyle and Amber. I just want to say I absolutely adore Kyle's relationship he has with his daughter, Amber. He adores that little girl. He treats her so well, and she takes well to him. And what was so interesting in this episode is that he took her to see her mom, Allison, and she's in a mental hospital, and things actually seem to be intense between Kyle and Allison. They definitely don't get along. We saw Kyle talking to Allison about her basically harming or about to harm Amber, at some point. And Allison actually blames that on being possessed. What I thought was so interesting is that Kyle wasn't going for the okie doke on that. He was not okay with that, even though we see Kyle basically being the exorcist and healing other people from being possessed. He did not take that as an excuse from Allison for potentially harming their daughter, Amber, which I could totally understand. He's a parent. No parent wants to see their child harmed by the hands of anyone. So Kyle's very, very protective of his daughter, Amber. So I give kudos to Kyle, too, for being an amazing father. Also, ironically, while Allison and Kyle are chatting about that, we see Amber goes out into the hallway of the hospital, and she was faced with danger when some random male who seemed to have been a patient. You guys let me know, what you thought about this scene too. The male approached her, and he didn't seem to, have good intentions, but Amber was able to kind of use her special powers to ward him off, and another lady came and took the gentleman elsewhere. So we saw that. And then also, let's talk about Aaron taking being a misbehaved child to the next level and taking being crazy to the next level. Aaron. Okay, so let's backtrack just a little bit. We saw Reverend Anderson at the end of season 1 burn down the trailer. We saw that somebody was in the trailer. We were all speculating the last 2 episodes who was in that trailer. Well, in this episode, we figured out that Aaron, who is Patricia's son, was actually the person in the trailer, and that's who we kind of thought it was. So what was so interesting was that Aaron showed up back at his mom Patricia's house with half of his face burned. And as we all know, Aaron is kind of like a bad kid. He's mean to his mom. He's a troubled teenager. But he's got that extra layer of darkness to him that most teenagers don't have. That just kind of, some teenagers just get into a little bit of trouble. Aaron, we saw him take it to the next level. He shows up real creepy to his mom's house with half of his face burned, and he seemed angry with his mom. He blamed his mom for Reverend Anderson basically attempting to burn him in the trailer. I just wonder now, did Reverend Anderson know that Aaron was actually in the trailer? Did he burn him innocently, or did he know that? So that'll be interesting to see develop within the next few episodes. But what was so shocking and how Aaron took being a misbehaved child to the next level was that he stabbed his mom to death. Aaron, it was not supposed to go down that way. But he came back with a purpose, and he came back for revenge. So I was saddened with Patricia's death and the way Aaron did it. And what was so creepy about it, and you guys can tell me what you think as well, was that he seemed to have found joy in it, and that was so disturbing. So at one point we saw him come face to face with Reverend Anderson, and Reverend Anderson was asking him about, him killing his mom, and he seemed to, have found some joy in his mom begging for her life. And I just thought that was really, really sick. So I would say, let me just say this, I'm not even going to get into I'm going to hold my prediction for the end of the show. I want to see what you guys have to say. But let's talk a little bit more about what happened in the episode. This is something that threw me for a loop. This is like a special segment I'm throwing in. This is something that threw me for a loop. We saw Patricia actually abducted by a man and taken away. So that threw me for a loop. I was shocked and surprised, like, who's this person that tried to abduct this woman and where did they go? So I want to see that part of the story developed a little bit more. But I want you guys to tell me what parts of the episodes 3 and 4 threw you for a loop. What did you guys want to see more of? What do you guys want to see more of? And what didn't make sense to you? But I do want to share my prediction for, I'll say episode 5 and 6, because I think that this is when this will happen. I think that since Aaron's mom was so beloved around the town or around the city, I think we'll see people wanting Aaron either dead or wanting him to pay for the death of his mother, because we've seen so many people come out and say, did you hear about, Patricia and Aaron killing Patricia? And everybody seems to be upset about it. So I'd like to see Aaron pay for what he did to his mom, because he just seems to be such an evil young man, and I don't like that. But it's so funny because last episode I didn't want Aaron to be the one in the trailer. I didn't think he was that bad off as a teenager, but he seems to be pretty evil. And the sad part about it is that his mom still believed that he was, a good-hearted person and he had a good heart, and he knew that she believed that and he took advantage of it. So Aaron is not my favorite person right now. I kind of want to see him thrown off the ship, so to speak. So we'll see what happens with Aaron. Again, I love to hear what you guys have to say. What are your predictions? What do you see happening in the near future in episode 5 and 6 and beyond? And this has pretty much been my thoughts about episode 3 and 4 of Outcast. Again, let me know what you guys think. You guys can find me on Instagram at MIZZ Ashley Marie. You can slide in my DMs. I do respond. We can talk all things Outcast, and let me know what your thoughts are. Other than that, I will say until next week, I'll buzz you guys later. You guys can buzz me later. Have a good night, everyone.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.